Good morning, everybody. We are still here in beautiful Grenada, and in this short video we're gonna look at and test and review these automatic inflatable key buoys, kind of. So I bought these on Amazon actually a while ago, and I haven't opened them. Just been meaning to do this test and review video. But before we get into that, if you guys are a boater or you spend any amount of time on the water, you know that you have to have one of these suckers on your keys. You have to. It's only a matter of time before you drop your keys in the water, and if you don't have one of these on them, they're going straight to the bottom. One more very important thing to consider is how much weight you have on each one of them, because like this is kind of a small one that kind of have a lot of weight on here, and it'll just pull this right down to the bottom. So I gotta actually make a change to this. Probably might be a good idea to test your float and what you have on it. I know from experience. So the disadvantage of these conventional key floats, these things are so cheap too. Like, you get them for free at boat shows. These are cool. This is a pretty big one. You can put money inside or anything you might want to have on the water with you. I really like these, that you could put just maybe like a $10 bill of cash in here or something. That way you always have it on you when you're on your boat in case of anything. You need a snack from the local beach bar or snack boat, or you gotta tip someone for giving you a tow into your dock or something like that. It's always good to have a 10 or 20 with you. Anyway, the disadvantage of these things is that they're bulky, and that's really it. They're bulky. Pretty slim compared to these, especially this big one. It seems like maybe they could handle something a little bit heavier. When I first got these things, I thought they were the same concept, but apparently maybe not. Like, this is your conventional inflatable key buoy, key fob, where you drop it in the water at a certain depth, it's gonna activate and it's gonna inflate this big orange buoy. It doesn't say at what depth it activates, but it does say that it can handle items weighing up to 2.8 ounces. And it also says it'll rise to the surface in as fast as 60 seconds, and it says it'll stay afloat for over an hour. So that's this Davis Instruments key buoy, and I'll link to both these in the description. They're both on Amazon. At least I bought them on Amazon. Hopefully they're still there. Now this seems like it might be a slightly different concept, and it's got a little picture of like it attached to a drone. But I don't know if this keeps something floating on the surface of the water. It seems like, according to like the picture back here, that at a certain depth, and it says activates in less than 10 feet. So within 10 feet it activates, but it seems like it's got this buoy that maybe shoots up to the surface and is attached to a Kevlar line, which is attached to the rest of the unit, which is Velcroed to whatever you Velcro it to. It weighs less than half an ounce, it's weatherproof. Recover up to 100 feet. So I'm thinking maybe it has a 100-foot Kevlar line on here that your thing can be pretty heavy, although it does say recover any objects 10 pounds or less. Anyway, maybe you have an object that weighs up to 10 pounds, it sinks to the bottom, this activates and it sends a little buoy up to the surface that's connected to the object. That's what I'm kind of gathering from this packaging and the picture. Anyway, we're gonna test these two things, and we're just gonna test them on a spare set of keys that we have. Actually, we're gonna test this one on the spare set of keys that I have, and we're gonna test this one on this old pocket knife that I've had forever. All right, let's do it. So let's open this guy first. It is really light. It weighs about the same as this sucker. It's about the same, a little bit smaller. And this is a relatively small float, I would say, flat. A little smaller than normal. This is what I would call like a conventional float. And then this is what I would say is a pretty big float. Well, I didn't weigh those keys, but hopefully they're less than 2.8 ounces. Otherwise, we're going for a dive. Alright, let's get this sucker out. This thing's pretty light too. Really light. Get her back. depth activated recovery system. And then you just got this Velcro. And it seems like, according to this picture of the thing on the drone, just Velcro it. We'll do it in the same direction. So Velcro it to the thing. Let's stay. Try to get out nice and tight, so. This is just a simple one wrap. That's a Velcro one wrap. All right, that sounds pretty good. You can see, there's the base, and you can see the base is nice and snug, but there's space here. And that's one thing the back of the box said is like, choose an unobstructed position on device. That looks unobstructed to me. One thing I'm very curious about these two things is if you can reuse them, and I'm kind of doubting you could reuse either of them, but maybe. We'll see. Can you help me test these things?
What do you need me to do?
I don't know. So we're doing it right here, right?
Yeah.
All right, that one first.
Well, I don't think it went off.
That one didn't work. I didn't even take enough breath. I didn't think I was gonna have to follow it all the way down.
How'd it go off?
I just was like shaking it and it finally just popped. That was weird. All right, I'm ready for the other thing when you are.
Did it work?
It opened, but the tube didn't inflate. Well, what happened? Well, I don't know what happened, but the thing opened like halfway down, like maybe 15 feet or so down, but it never inflated with air. I don't know what inflates it with air. It seems like, I don't know, I see like some sort of powder or something in there. This is like a really cheap, oh wow, really cheap plastic swivel that really doesn't take a lot of force to pop it out of its keychain holder. But it does seem like that might allow you to get another one of these things and replace it. Pretty interesting.
Not that you could replace it if it didn't go off the first
time.
time.
If it doesn't work. This is like, oh wow. So this is how it opens. Check this out. So this is like a little piece of like sponge material or something See, it's just sponge. So, or maybe it's like paper, something porous. But it seems like as soon as that gets wet, it expands, and all this is a simple clip. So as soon as that expands, the clip goes in, and it allows this to unclip. Check that out. Some sort of like powder or something in there.
Maybe it's like baking, volcanoes.
Yeah, baking soda and vinegar or something. Maybe like a carbon dioxide reaction or something. I think that's what that is.
Did it have an expiration date on the box?
No, I didn't see any. I'll go look though. All right. Well, pretty much a failure here. Half a failure there. All the packaging and everything. So this is what I thought in the beginning. It's literally just a marker on like this really thin, they call it Kevlar line. There's still a lot on that spool there. So you can see it probably is about 100 feet you could recover something from. And I don't know why they limited 10 pounds. Like, you think the breaking strength of this stuff is only 10 pounds? That seems very light. Like a very lightweight for
Calling out the breaking strength of the line might be where the line's connected to the unit.
Oh, Sierra said maybe it's where the line's connected to the unit or something. Oh, this is, huh. I don't know what activates that either. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna have to do a little research and see if these things are meant to be reusable and what exactly is activating them. So I'll be right back. So we are right about at 23 feet plus, that's from the bottom of the hole, so add about 2 feet. We're at about 25, maybe 26 feet deep. So a few quick things I found while digging through their websites a little bit. They both seem to be a one-time use product. This Getter Back thing clearly states that it's a one-time use product, and I don't think the Davis Instruments one did, but it insinuated that it was a one-time use product. They both use a non-toxic chemical reaction to inflate their tube, or supposed to inflate their tube. And on the Davis Instrument website, it says that ingredients are sodium bicarbonate and tartaric acid. I'm pretty sure sodium bicarbonate is like baking powder or baking soda, and then just some sort of acid, and those two mixed just forms a chemical reaction, which I think releases CO2, and that's what's supposed to inflate here. Didn't work. This is only like $7. And then this sucker, one interesting thing I read on the Getter Back website is that it typically takes 1 to 2 minutes, but it can take longer depending on sink rate, depth, and water temperature. A fast sink rate in warm water to 10 feet will result in the shortest time, and a slow sink rate in very cold water to 100 feet may take up to 5 minutes. This is warm water. We went deep, 25 feet, and I would consider it a fast sink rate. Did I give it 1 to 2 minutes? I definitely gave it at least 1 minute. 2 minutes? I'm not sure. We didn't time it. Maybe I'll do that in this edit. We'll time it. So I went back and timed the footage, and I put some of it in fast motion to save your time. But if you put everything at normal speed, from the moment the unit hits the water to the moment it pops open is exactly 2 minutes. Which means we just didn't give it enough time to open up on its own on the bottom there. Time it. But anyway, it sank all the way to the bottom on its own, sat there for a few seconds while I went up to catch my breath, and then dove back down to get it at 25 feet, brought it all the way up, still hadn't inflated at that point, and then shook it a little bit, and then after a few seconds of that, it did pop open and inflate. Would I use these suckers? At this point, after this test, I would not trust anything to this. Unfortunately, it's a good idea, a good concept, but keys, like keys on the water, are very valuable. I can't afford to lose my keys. There is another option just to have these, so I think I would stick to that. This thing... So after going back and reviewing the footage and deciding that it did operate within the specs of their website, and that's about 2 minutes of opening, I think I would make it a viable option for a recovery system for something up to about 10 pounds. Anyway, hope you guys liked this video. I hope it was valuable for you. If you want to see more videos like this, just comment below. If you have anything specific you want me to review that relates to boating or cruising or sailing or anything like that, especially if you've seen it around on our boat, definitely let us know in the comments below. This is an unbiased review. We paid full price for these on Amazon Prime or Amazon. I'll link to them in the description so you can take a look if you'd like. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you think I missed anything or messed anything up, or
if you found a floaty that you really like.
yeah, if you find one of these things that you really like, you know, let us know below. Or if you've had different experiences with either of these products, let us know in the comments below. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for watching as usual, and we'll see you later.